Since my wife asked me to make for us a set of marquee letters for our wedding reception, I have been eager to try and make another set. It was a huge smash at the after party. A colleague of mine wanted something special for her 40th birthday, so I suggested to her I could make for her some marquee letters. So here we are. Hi guys, I'm Sure. Let's jump right in. I'll show you how I made these. We'll start things off by cutting 2 plywood boards to 110 centimeters by 55 centimeter dimensions. I used some pictures from Pinterest to guide me with the shape of these numbers. This is one of the rare occasions where using inches seemed very convenient for me. Designing the general width for the numbers to be about 6 inches wide. I had footage of me throwing these, but that specific file got corrupted before I could process it. Using my circular saw, I cut near the line, stopping right before the blade reaches the corners. Then I finished up the cuts using my jigsaw. I then sanded the numbers from 80 grit to 220 grit. With some white oil paint, I used a brush to paint the numbers, then I left them overnight to dry up. Then it's time to make the edge profiles, where I'll be mounting the light strips on. Most marquee letters I've seen on the internet usually have bulb fixations. Those are very expensive here in Swaziland. My next best option was to use some LED strips. The strips are 2.5 and 1.5 centimeters wide. I glued and nailed them together and I let the glue dry properly. This part of the build was quite tricky, so I started with the easier number to get comfortable with the process, since it has no tricky angles and such. It took me a while to figure out the angles, as you can see me getting busy with my angle caliper, but I eventually landed on the perfect angle, 22.5 degrees Celsius, on all the outer edges. As soon as I got the angle, I was flowing again. I used some glue between the joints and the backer board, clamped and screwed everything. With the outer edges done, I went on to the inner edges, face inwards. Since this is a rectangle, I made 45-degree cuts on this edge profile. First number done. Now we move on to the complex number. Most of the outer edges are about 45-degree cuts. It was just at these parts where I had to just figure it out. So I'm not sure still what those angles were that I used, but I came up with them. Most of my joints are pretty neat with small gaps here and there, you know. We can easily patch those using some glue in those joints, then come back with the sander, then it will be buttery smooth, no seams. With sanding numbers all done, it's time to make these numbers stand on their own. I made these simple and steady leg profiles, securing only with screws in case the customer wants to remove them later on and mount it on the wall or something. This section of the video is sponsored by Shaw Woodworking DIY. Welcome to my channel. I invite you to stay by smashing that subscribe button and the notifications bell, of course. I have videos on how I built my plywood cabinet that you've been seeing over there, and also my ultimate workbench where I have a vise and all those things. Links will be in the descriptions below. Thanks. Let's head inside my lounge. It's time to install some LEDs and some oil finish. I started attaching the LED strip near the exit site at the bottom corner here. I had to feed the whole strip through the exit site, then make a hole at the bottom here, which is a bit more concealed than the previous one that I picked. I stuck the light strip along this edge and pulled out the LED head. The LED strips I used are the 10-meter ones. I didn't really want to cut it, so I just kept the extra lights. I rolled it up in its wheel to be mounted on the back with sellotape and staples later on. I did the same process to the number 4 as well. Using simple oil finish, I gave it 3 coats and then we were done. So, what do you think of the numbers? I haven't seen this design elsewhere. I modified it slightly to make it work for me. I will be building and selling these to the deco guys as well as private individuals. It's an awesome project to sell and you can make a great profit. Thank you very much for watching my video till the end. I would really appreciate you bumping that like button for me. It would really make me happy. You can check out these other plywood projects that I've done before. Thanks.